after much concern that this might not happen. I'm not going to lie, John. I was getting a little worried there. This is why sometimes it's a good thing we don't do this live.
Oh yeah.
I got a little worried. Like, could you imagine everyone? We were supposed to start really early.
2 hours.
Yeah, no, definitely. We were supposed to start early today, but we started a little bit later. But yeah, no, I definitely wouldn't have. Yeah, 2 hours. Imagine the crowd just sitting there for 2 hours. Like, what the fuck?
Where's the other guy? So I finally woke up.
There we go. So let's get this started. This is definitely a lot earlier than we normally do. So, but let's do this. All right. So, how was your last week, John? What's going on?
Not bad, really. Had a good couple of nights. Just memeing around, going on adventures.
Mm-hmm.
Work has been pretty good. I think me and my coworkers have finally hit a nice sync. We've synced up, so we work well together.
That's good.
What else? Finally beat Halo CE. Went on to Halo 2 in the Lasso missions, and I fucking hate it.
God damn it.
I spent about maybe 2 hours last night trying to take down the Scarab before blasting on a new Mombasa.
Mm-hmm.
But how about you, Patrick?
A few interesting things happened this week in terms of like stuff that was announced, non-video gamey. Was that they're doing another Scooby-Doo movie. I don't know if they're doing it because they want to or because of all the memes of Shaggy late last year. But I don't know if that dude's even going to be in it because obviously he was in the older films.
Matthew Lillard, you mean?
Yeah, Matthew Lillard, yeah.
Doubt.
And yeah, I know, right? Could you imagine? But anyway, so apparently Fred is going to be Zac Efron, and then Amanda Seyfried's going to be Daphne, I think is what they announced so far. I don't know.
It's a much more attractive cast, but I'm not against it. I'm a big Scooby-Doo, going back to the day.
It's one of those things where you never know. That's either going to be a train wreck or it's going to be, like, fun. I don't know. It's tough to tell, because there's nothing. It's just an announcement of cast. It's whatever.
Yeah. I got to give it to Zac Efron. He can pull comedy well.
He can. He's good. Was it Bad Grandpa? Was that? No. Was that the Jackass one?
No. But you're right, Bad Grandpa. But I never saw that, even though it's De Niro. I love De Niro. It looked bad.
Yeah, it was for mainstream comedies. It was all right.
Neighbors, that was what I'm referencing. He's pretty okay in Neighbors.
Okay, yeah, he kind of had that same meme going on there. So.
Yeah. So I'll give it a watch.
Yeah, he can do that. Yeah, hopefully when the trailers and stuff actually drop, it'll be good. Mm-hmm. Speaking of trailers dropping, Dora the Explorer looks surprisingly good. I was actually really surprised that it didn't look like an absolute trash fire. So we'll see. I mean, it doesn't mean it's going to be good.
Wait, is that real? The Ariel Winter one?
I guess I don't know who that is. I just know it had the Mexican dude from Ant-Man and
really
stuff. So yeah.
Oh, I love Michael Pena. He's hilarious.
Yeah, Michael Pena. Yeah, and Eva Longoria and Danny Trejo and the usual good Mexican movie starter pack.
Yeah,
it's the good Mexican movie. Yeah, exactly. It's the good starter pack for that.
Is Robert Rodriguez directing?
The girl playing Dora, it's one of those like really weird things where like she's supposed to be in high school and Dora is obviously not even close. Yeah, so you have that as a weird dichotomy, but then you're using this girl who's like an attractive like 20-year-old to play her, which is I don't know. It's a little that part is a little weird.
You're kind of towing the line there. Like, yeah, let's.
I'm gonna stay away from the Chams as in terms of discussing that. So I don't know, but it looks good though.
Okay, well,
Nickelodeon movies are either really, really good or really bad. They never have like an okay movie. It's always on one end of the spectrum or the other.
Yeah.
But Dora the Explorer actually looks fine. Like, I don't know, the trailer looks like there's actually money being thrown at it, so it should be pretty good.
Can't be any worse than the live-action Kim Possible.
Keeping the movie motif going, and then, of course, the fact that we did just discuss this, Avengers, of course, announcing the fact that it's going to be it's such an oddly specific time frame. They could have just said 3 hours, but they had to be pretentious.
Like, what?
They had to be pretentious. Is this actual movie runtime? Is this including credits? We don't know.
Yeah, that's what fan spec is.
Like,
is this the
including credits as
post-credit scene?
Yeah, and using that to say it's a 3-hour movie is kind of bullshit if it's going to be like 15 minutes of credits.
More than that, maybe. So 15 probably. No, 15's a good number.
Long.
Yeah.
It's going to be long because there's a lot of people involved, obviously.
Yeah.
You have to have who did Robert Downey Jr.'s hair, who did his nails, who did his eye makeup on one eye, and stuff like that. So
big ups to the caterers.
Yeah, but aside that, I don't believe, unless of course there was any other news. I think that's all they really announced. Is just how long it was. I don't think they announced anything else, any trailers or anything. And speaking of people dying, we also have the fact that Microsoft pulled a meme. We record these at the end of the week, so sometimes the weeks meld, and so, whatever. But they brought back Clippy for a day and then killed him off again. They basically, for those of you who, which many of you were probably born after 2001 and don't remember who that is, that was the little the animated assistant in Microsoft Office.
The paperclip guy.
Microsoft Word, the paperclip guy. They brought him back in a sticker pack for some Office meme, and then it was only available for like a day, and then they got rid of it again. So, I don't know, just kind of like toying with the idea and then just killing him off again.
Oh, you mean like that time they announced that cool dragon game, but then didn't?
Oh, God. Yeah, exactly. So we'll probably see Clippy on Nintendo starting soon. He'll be on Switch, so we'll go there. The Clippy game. I know that a lot of people actually now have started a petition because of that. Probably just purely out of nostalgia. They want Clippy back, but who knows?
You know what the funny part is? Nobody likes Clippy. It's like when he shows up, get off my fucking screen.
Yeah, I know, right? It's funny. It's one of those things where everyone just remembers him as a good thing because he's dead now.
Exactly.
Like many artists.
Nostalgia.
The great artist known as Clippy. Clippy B. Although probably still more relevant than Cliffy B is now. Going on with the Microsoft motif. Stadia we talked about last time.
Yeah.
Very interesting, lots of promise, lots of stuff. A few things I kind of found out a bit more in expansion to that is the fact that I looked at the latency, kind of like that'll be brought on depending on your connection, depending on, the format you're using, stuff like that. So not quite as extreme as we were hoping in my examples I gave. So a little more humble stuff. Probably 1080 30 is going to be more manageable on most systems, but there's that. But in regards to Stadia, of course, Phil Spencer from Microsoft saying that Stadia had not announced anything surprising, that it was a totally predictable announcement, and that nothing in it was really stand out. That could be argued either way, although it just sounds like salt, I guess. He went on further to say that Xbox will be having a huge E3. Now, that's really a bold statement to say. One, when you're already blatantly harassing another format and then following it up with our dicks are bigger.
Yeah.
But the weird thing is, they haven't really hinted. Like, coming into E3, coming towards E3, we're going to PAX East into this weekend, and then we have E3 going to be, in a couple months. And usually there's some sort of hints. There's rumblings already of stuff that's coming, and then it's just officially confirmed or announced. Mm-hmm. I don't know anything like Microsoft exclusive related or even timed exclusive that's coming out anytime soon that they could possibly announce.
Yeah,
I haven't heard anything.
Unless they're pulling like Kojima levels of secrecy,
which I doubt,
because
Microsoft can't keep anything secret.
Exactly, there's nothing under wraps.
So yeah, it's it's odd. I found that really strange because I don't know what is it. What is their big? Now they could maybe they really did pull the ultimate espionage and they're going to just fucking destroy it at E3, but I doubt it.
Oh. Speaking of that, a new Splinter Cell would be nice.
New Splinter Cell is a Microsoft exclusive because that's the thing. Exclusive. That's something that the companies have all seemed to not give a fuck about anymore. Sony and Microsoft all kind of like sharing franchises now. Final Fantasy VII just dropped on Xbox One and Switch. So, no longer a sacred Sony franchise anymore. But that being the case...
DMC, Spyro Crash.
If they really do have a big announcement, it's going to either have to be a tech revolution, or it's going to have to be... which is possible for them to do, or some exclusive games for once, which they just don't seem to have. I don't know. And then whenever they drop something like Crackdown, it's terrible. I mean, they had Quantum
Break.
Which was great.
Yeah, it was fun. Fantastic game. Really, try it out. It's great.
It did Cage right. It was Cage done right, which now in Detroit we actually are liking.
Wait,
so
Quantum Break is a Cage game?
No. What I mean is it did the Cage... It did
Cage motif.
MO, but did it properly.
Yeah, no, it was great. Love Littlefinger.
But yeah, and so... but in terms of what Phil Spencer said, that was from a supposedly leaked email. The validity of that personal email is not so... it hasn't been confirmed, as far as I know. But
even
so just to not slander him, it's not like he said this on the record, or everyone talks differently off the record than they do on the record usually. So it's not like Phil Spencer was an asshole publicly.
Yeah.
I mean, I do like Phil Spencer. He's a good guy. He's usually pretty transparent. Yeah. But this was from a personal email. So when he did say these things, it's not like he was stating that Google Stadia sucks or anything. And he didn't even technically say that. He was just saying it was what you'd expect from such an announcement, is basically what he said. He basically said they did their announcement by the book, how it should be. It's not like he said, fuck Google Stadia. He didn't say anything about that. All he said is that it's not basically, since it was an inter-work email, he was basically like, hey guys, here's what went down for Google Stadia, because he actually had just like either was there or watched the press conference live, and basically sent that email, basically as an insider, as a scout, was like, nothing to worry about, we still got this in terms of our, but of course not divulging what they've got. But who knows? Maybe they will. What will they show? Don't know.
It remains to be seen. I'm not going to hold my breath. I love Microsoft. Big loyal, Halo.
That's the thing, is that Microsoft's always had the thing where Sony and Microsoft work in tandem, where one excels at what the other one fails in, and where Sony has games, but their hardware's a little sometimes. Xbox is able to drop something like the Xbox One X, which spec-wise is probably the most powerful consumer console of all time, but has no games. So they're always kind of like, I think this is why they're easily able to coexist, is neither of them are perfect.
It's like a 1-to-1.
Yeah, it almost is. But yeah, with that being the case, who knows? I'd love Xbox to prove me wrong, because I would like to actually play more stuff on my Xbox. I just don't get to it. Just half out of choice, half of there's nothing. So, we'll see.
Please come back, Microsoft.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe they're going to announce a new good Halo game. I wouldn't hold my breath on that either. But
we get good Halo games now?
I know. They're gonna have to. I don't know. Is it the studio or is it?
No, it's. Do you want to segue into a tangent about me complaining about 343 for like 5 hours?
No, but you mean
there's a lot.
If you could give me the cliff notes real quick and just say just bullet points real quick and like wrapping it up in a minute, basically.
I think it's just Bungie had the Halo Bible and
took it with them.
Yeah, that's kind of what it is. It seems. 343 inherited this franchise, didn't know what to do with it. Bungie was like, fuck it, we're doing Destiny, here, take this money and just go with it. Don't know where to take the story, tried something new with the story, nobody liked the story, and now where are we? What is Infinite even about? What are you doing?
Yeah,
done.
Exactly. Okay, so and it's happened time and time again when franchises pass developers' hands, is that just because you have the rights to a franchise and you think you can do it, you have companies like Platinum who picked up Nier and were able to do it right and do it justice. But then you have other cases, like the one you just mentioned. So
no, yeah.
We'll see.
In that case, though, that's a complete 180.
Yeah, I mean, Halo did for the first-person shooter what it was definitely far from the first, but what it did to make it what first-person shooters have become, for better or worse. You can't replace that.
Yeah.
And it definitely deserves its respect for that. And I like the fact that people do still mention and give Halo credit when they're not being facetious, that Halo still deserves its credit for what it brought to the industry, even if it hasn't been good since the second one, maybe the third one.
4 is not bad. 4 is where it falls. The MCC is a solid lineup.
Okay, so basically what's included there.
5 is where they shit the bed. Like when
what about the spin-offs?
ODST isn't terrible, but it's like, why would I want to play as not a Spartan?
Yeah, that's a little weird. Right?
Reach, I guess, in a roundabout way, they retconned it to be canon, but it's not, because the way they present the story is like, no, that's not how it happened. But it's not a bad game. Reach was fun. Mm-hmm. Honestly, as a Halo fan, I greatly enjoyed Halo Reach. I loved the spaceflight missions. I want more of that. In fact, cough 343 cough. Spartan Ops is fun, and Halo Wars not bad. They tried what Halo was supposed to be in RTS, and they didn't fail.
Microsoft, like I said, Sony and Microsoft both have their foils. All I was going to say is that I think that Sony's ability to shit in someone's mouth and get away with it, whereas Microsoft is ostracized for wetting itself in bed, not affecting anyone, is a little... I think that the journalism push on that's a little much sometimes, where Sony can do something super mediocre and receive either unnecessary praise or just no one wants it, just sweeps it everyone just sweeps it under the rug.
You forget about it.
But every minor Xbox foible gets exploded into infinity and exaggerated to the nth degree. So, I don't know. I just think that a world where Microsoft has franchises again, that'd be a world I wouldn't mind living in because the original Xbox and 360 had some good memories.
Agreed.
Did you hear about Prince Harry talking about Fortnite?
No. Why? I'm putting my head in my hands. Why? Why are the royals talking about Fortnite?
So Prince Harry and his wife. I know some people are going to get really mad about me mentioning his name and not hers. I just don't know what her name is.
Meghan Markle, was that the one who he married? Or
I don't. The prince that married a person that's now a princess went to a school, elementary school. I'm assuming. I don't know if this is how they call it there. Primary school. Okay. So he went there, and this is the type of thing. This is why I want to say, like, what world do we actually live in? Is everything I'm about to say. Now, this is all first-hand reports. Prince Harry is greeted with something that is a common. It's as common as waving hello here in the States, or it's even been more common than that. Is Prince Harry and his spouse had walked into the school and was greeted with nothing but Fortnite dancing, including flossing for royalty.
God, I knew you were going to say flossing.
And the kids were just doing this, and Prince Harry, of course, with great concern, had asked how old the kids were. He talked to them and asked, they were just like, yeah, we're 8 years old. And basically what in essence of what first-hand reports of people who were actually there supposedly said is that he talked to them about how they shouldn't be playing games like Fortnite because it makes them behave that way. And that they should perhaps consider games like Minecraft that at least provide some sort of thinking in order to do. And I think the endorsement of Minecraft over Fortnite from Prince Harry is...
we know what he gets into at Buckingham every night. Is this truly
industry news? I don't know, but I do know the fact that I find that amusing. The fact that this has actually happened, where like I will ironically do that just to trigger someone that I know when I do a dance like that, just to piss them off. But the fact that kids nowadays, including here in the States, I didn't know this had infected everyone overseas as well. But the fact that that's a common thing where kids just randomly like. I can go to the grocery store or anywhere else, and I tell you, like, I seriously will at least see if there's a child there under the age of 12 and plays Fortnite, which that kind of goes hand in hand.
Yeah,
they will be doing one of those dances even at the grocery store, usually with their parents wanting to kill themselves.
The broken knees dance, the flossing,
just everything, and like it's just funny to know that Prince Harry was just disturbed by this, and that this actually happened as like the kids greeted the prince.
It's almost like a troll.
Yeah, it almost is, except that the kids like were dead serious.
Yeah, they're being genuine. Yeah, they're like, "This is cool. I'm going to do this for the prince."
Yeah, I don't know what to say about that.
I'm glad Harry took time out of his schedule for this humanitarian effort.
It's almost like he was visiting a country of like unfortunate people, like yet it was just a school in his backyard essentially. You know that this is a well-off school, and maybe you know what? Maybe it's because that's actually where this happens more often than an impoverished school. But
is it weird that I'm imagining him going to the campus that's featured in Bully and just
right? Essentially, so basically, Bully remastered with flossing is basically what's going to happen.
I'd play that game.
God. Let's get away from that one. But that one, I just thought it was an amusing one. I did actually find that pretty funny.
It's nice. Very humorous indeed. Yes,
yeah, exactly. Something on the complete opposite spectrum, a game that requires skill. Happy Hob, a streamer I had never heard of personally, but there's a lot of streamers out there, so it's just really hard to keep it the community.
Of course, yeah.
But much respect to him, because Happy Hob actually completed what people in the community call a God Run. From those who are fans of the From Software games, he was able to beat all the From Software games without getting hit once.
Wow.
Yeah, so on a single stream, he actually beat all the From Software games without being hit once.
Wow.
It took 16 hours, and he did all the games back to back to back to back to back. Of course, not getting all the... he knows how to beat all of them already, obviously. He's beat them all several times. Yeah. This is the order that he beat the games in.
Is it a narrative?
It was... Huh?
Is that one?
Oh, no. I think it was just in terms of efficiency.
Oh.
I want to think. I don't know. I didn't see an exact explanation for the order, but I do know that people do say that the order you play them in can maybe fatigue and everything can kind of play in there. But he beat them in the following order, which was Bloodborne, followed by Dark Souls 2, Dark Souls 1, Demon Souls, and then Dark Souls 3. And he beat those all again on a single stream, back to back to back to back to back to back. So
give that man a medal, man.
It was absolutely incredible. I really wish It was cool though. I mean, From Software, the official Dark Souls Twitter did give him some kudos, so that was really cool. I would love, and if they may be doing this just happened recently, so they may be doing this. I'd love for them to make him a statue or something, because their games are notoriously known for being extremely ridiculous. You have
Especially Dark Souls
to do something even remotely close to that. You just have to beat them in general. You have to know what you're doing.
Yeah.
So to do something like this, you have to have that next level knowledge and skill.
Like,
even if you know what to expect. I've seen many Let's Plays and I know what to expect on some of these Souls games, and I still can't do them because I just don't have that skill.
Yeah, exactly. The hundreds of hours this guy's had to spend on these, jeez.
To beat everything in 16 hours, which is
not
wild.
Get hit.
And to stream for 16 hours. People do all sorts of stuff, Markiplier does his 24 plus charity streams, but he's just hanging with the fans or playing some bullshit game that is not really needs his cause. It's just for fun.
Yeah, he's just chilling. But this guy's actually putting in work.
He's going in there. Now, of course, the God Run now does consider Sekiro as part of it. It's so hard that because there is no difficulty. So hard. I don't know if that was a thing, but there was. It's so difficult. Is that because there's no difficulty slider, unlike the other games where any other game where you can choose the difficulty. Sekiro just has the game.
Yeah,
they don't allow you to, but apparently it is so hard. So it'll be interesting. Of course, Happy Hop said it's going to be a hot minute till he tries to do the God Run again and include Sekiro. But
now my Twitter's been a Twitter with much rage over Sekiro.
Right. But you know what? Take no credit away from the guy. He did it before the game did come out. So he did do a complete God Run, no asterisk next to that. So congratulations, Happy Hob. We are glad that you were able to do such a thing. Now, why you would want to do that, you madman, I don't know. Because to me, that would just be so... It would... First of all, my stream would be weeks long trying to beat this horse shit.
Can you imagine if you fuck up once?
Yeah, exactly. So that was the terms. The terms of the God Run is that if you get hit, and I believe he may have attempted God Runs before, if you get hit, you do have to start from the beginning of the first game. Whatever game you declare will be your first one, you have to start over again.
Wow.
So
good job.
run. So if let's just say he got hit in the very last game, Dark Souls 3, he would have to go back to Bloodborne and start over again. So... yeah, fucking wild.
As someone who spent a good 4 days beating the werewolf to death at the beginning of Bloodborne,
right.
You have all the respect in the world, my dude. Like that's impressive.
Yeah, so congratulations to him, man. That was great. So we talked about Microsoft earlier. Let's move on to PlayStation. PlayStation Plus announcing its April free games are going to be Conan Exiles and The Surge. Conan Exiles, of course, is a Rust-like game. I think it's fair to call it compared to Rust. Okay. It's actually a lot of fun. I really can't wait to play that with some friends. I've been wanting to. It's just, so many games to buy. So to get it as your free game of the month is going to be really nice. But basically survival, fort building, consistent world. So even if you're offline, people can raid your shit. It
looks cool. I remember reading an article and that... it looked fun. It looked fantastic.
Yeah, when the game was still in beta on Steam, I was extremely interested because Max Mofo and Faceless were streaming it for a while. They were playing it for a while, doing YouTube videos on it, and it looked really fun. So I've been wanting to play it for a while, and finally going to be nice to actually get around to it whenever it does come out in April, the first Tuesday of April, as Sony always does. And The Surge is a Souls-like one. Not so good. It's a very mediocre game.
The Surge.
It kind of runs into the problem that a lot of games have now, where I wouldn't say that a lot of games coming out are bad. They're just so mediocre that, I don't know, I think Jim Sterling puts it really well, where if a game is bad, at least it's just bad and then that's all there is to it.
Yeah.
But when a game is so mediocre that it almost offends you and how little they tried... that's actually worse than a bad game because it's actually trying to conceal itself it's either trying to disguise itself as a good game or just being so explicitly open about the fact that it didn't try. Surge somewhere falls in that spectrum where it tried to do... It's basically a Dark Souls-esque game in a world where, grafting chainsaws to your hand, this kind of, tech stuff, kind of post-apocalyptic, theme-ish type thing with technology, trying to tech-based... Fallout meets Chainsaw Hand Man Dark Souls, which should be good, but it's fine. I played it for a little bit. It's okay.
Okay.
It's mediocre. It's not the best game on earth, but I've played a lot worse.
Yeah. One of my friends was telling me he downloaded it, and he was actually excited, I guess, through text. You can't really tell,
Yeah.
words, but he seemed adamant about playing it. I'll ask him again today, see what he thought.
And that's the plus side. The negative side, plus, I didn't do that on purpose.
Hashtag plug.
But the bad thing that, I guess, it's subjective. You could see it as a bad thing that Sony's doing is they did recently announce that they are going to be pulling the ability for third-party retailers like Amazon or GameStop to sell digital games now. You are... Apparently, the way people understand it is that you can maybe still buy a quote-unquote token, so I'm guessing they mean like you can still buy the gift card currencies and stuff, and the PlayStation Plus membership cards you can still buy from them, but you must buy the game itself and finish a transaction through the PlayStation Store. I'm sure, obviously, it's because they don't want to give a kick out. I'm sure there's some sort of kick out they have to give.
There's a percentage
to sell it through GameStop to
distribute
the game that you can just buy from the PlayStation Store. So they said we already provide the service. Why the hell are we paying other people to plug it for us?
Yeah, no. Good job, Sony. That's a big baller move.
The shitty business lingo they use though is always really annoying. Though they use a quote unquote align key businesses globally, rather than just say we want all the money. I don't understand why they can't just be open about it and be like, in order to maximize profits that are already high, we want to go ahead and stop giving our profits away to other companies unnecessarily. That's just what it is. It's the nature of the business.
GameStop doesn't need our extra 6%, so...
Right, GameStop needs to get bankrupt quicker. Oh wait, they already are. But it's one of those things where, they just... It makes sense from a business standpoint. I just hate how they try to play this. I know they have to because of business. I'm just saying as a consumer.
No, of course, yeah.
I always hate hearing this faux diplomacy. And it's always just... I don't know. It's just insulting to the intelligence to seem like, like they're really like pulling one over on me.
You realize most of your fan base is like 25 plus, right? Like we've grown up with you. We know.
Right.
Not to discount anyone under. I'm just saying we get it. We know why you're doing that, man.
Exactly. And
get this pseudo-altruism out of here. Like, all right, whatever.
According to some reports, of course, they say that DLC will still be available, but the base game itself for sure is not going to be.
Well, now you're just mincing words.
I know.
Okay.
That's really weird. I don't know. But anyway, Sony wants all their money instead of some of it, and it makes sense because they already provide that platform. So,
as someone currently wearing a PlayStation Watch, I can't gripe with Sony.
There you go. But I do have a gripe with the next topic. So last week we talked about Project Judge. We talked about Pierre Tuck getting removed from the universe for doing cocaine.
Yeah.
So here's the really weird thing. On Castle Super Beast, Pat made a very good point where he was talking about how the cultural differences are wild because Jump Force just came out, right?
Mm-hmm.
And no one's really making a big deal about that. Now, why is Jump Force relevant? Well, it's not because that game is extremely irrelevant, but it does have a character who was subjected to some no-no thing that happened. Kenshin's voice actor in Japan. This did happen a while ago, but again, it's one of those why didn't it affect the world, and I do have an explanation for why.
Mm-hmm.
Was caught and admittedly had child porn, tons of DVDs, and basically here's what happened. So
DVD.
So Kenshin Man gets caught with an absurd amount of child porn. Local government, law enforcement, what have you, makes a deal with him. Basically says, give up all the kitty diddlers and you are fine. So basically, his career is intact. He's voiced Kenshin still since, including the new Jump Force game.
Yo.
And that's totally fine, apparently, because, he did sell out the other CP fans. So...
No, that is so not okay.
This is the type of... It's kind of like how we also talked about how violence here is so removed and desensitized as a negative thing. It's sexual content. If you even have a nipple on... female nipple.
But don't show a nipple. TV, yeah, exactly.
It's kind of... This is like an even more extreme case over there where someone else from Yakuza in the past was caught doing cocaine and was also erased from the earth. And this guy, basically same thing. So the thing is... Yeah, so Kenshin's voice actor, admitted CP fan, career intact. Pierre Tuck and the other guy from the Yakuza series before, do cocaine, you're out of here.
Yep. Wow.
You're like erased from the face of the earth.
What a fucking
Pierre Tuck is also the voice of Olaf in Japanese Frozen, and so he is going to be eliminated.
He's quite a snowman, huh?
From the face of the earth on that.
Wow.
And they go to extremes. The other guy, is either Pierre Tucker or the other guy from the Exile, they were actually patched out of a game. Like, already a released game, they were patched out of it. Brand new voice work done and everything. Just like that. Like, they go through these extreme lengths. But, CP, it's fine.
But Kenshin's into the worst thing you could probably be into. Like,
right. Actually, objectively, probably one of the worst things,
That's so irredeemable.
And Japan has always kind of showed it a little bit in terms of being a little more okay with that, because drugs are always, like, drugs and drinking and stuff like that will be super censored from animes. Well, sometimes.
Sometimes. I was going to say, look at High School.
But you have the very young-looking elf girl who's 400 years old, so it's fine.
That's how they
that kind of thing. Yeah. But so they always kind of showed where they stand on that moral sense, or immoral sense in this case. Yeah. But that's wild. It's wild. Like Pat kudos to Pat from Castle Super Beast for making a very valid point that it's insane. Like, not just a cultural difference, but just insanity.
No, that's ridiculous.
Not like the entire race is like that, but the fact that it's a majority of enough people over there that find it fine, that it is like, that this has happened.
Weird aside, remember back in, 2006 when GW banned Lolly?
God, yeah, basically.
But yes, that's why you banned Lolly. It's not.
So, let's segue to things I'm actually into, which is not CP.
Or Lolly.
Is Elder Scrolls, their 25th anniversary. Congratulations, Elder Scrolls, for being around for so long.
Yeet.
Very, very awesome. They did lots of things for it. There's all sorts of celebration stuff in-game, and if you play Elder Scrolls Online. But one of the things that they did do is give away a free copy of Morrowind for a day. Now, that's normally a cool thing, but here's why I wasn't a fan of it, actually. I was happy that people were talking about it. I was happy that, a lot of people do hail Morrowind as one of the best, if not, like me, find it to be the best Elder Scrolls game.
Yeah.
They did it where you redeemed it, but it wasn't a Steam code. You actually had to use the Bethesda client. And Bethesda's not the only scumbag doing that. You have people like Epic Games who now have their own store. They're going to be pulling their stuff from other platforms.
Really?
You have to buy everything through Steam. You have Origin. EA did that. EA is like the OG of ruining people's lives with that.
Yeah.
Ubi does it. So that's the problem, is they just added to the litter of clients. Like, with the way the game industry is going now, you're going to have 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 launchers just to play different, depending on what game you're trying to play now, because now everything's going to start being pulled from Steam. Not that has anything to do with them propagating the game Rape Day that we talked about last time.
I think that's more corporate.
It's just corporate stuff. It's
conscious.
Not, just to be clear of anyone who might think that, it doesn't really have anything to do with that. It's just the fact that they're just greed. Corporate greed. That's all it is.
Can't you just, each company just buy an algorithm, set it to Steam, just look at what we're buying.
But guys, Morrowind is being for free though, so they're not really, but they're still making you use their client. That's the point.
I know, that's
they're
the
hoping
thing.
that they're hoping that it gateways from there. It's that free sample. It's you know what I mean? They give you the free game, but then you see all these other games, and they throw this game on sale, you buy this. It's the usual bullshit.
I have 17 different logins for things already. Why do I want another?
Yeah. Well, not just login, but the fact that you need a whole other client, like another thing on your hard drive and desk, just to watch it.
Yes, that's so dumb.
I don't know, it sucks. It sucks that this story I have to make negative of something that should have been great. If it was like they gave everyone Morrowind Steam codes for PC and then that's it, that would have been fine. But
nice little
alas, it was for me to harp on the fact that they didn't do it in a very great fashion.
Oblivion's better anyway.
Oh Lord! What is that? What universe is that? Is that the Microsoft Makes Good Games universe?
I like my 8 copies of Skyrim too.
I don't know if they also did this in time for the anniversary. They probably did, but Blades dropped on mobile. Did you play Elder Scrolls Blades? I've been pre-registered on that for forever because I want to see how great it is.
I've never heard of it, I'll be honest.
Okay, so Elder Scrolls Blades is a brand new game on mobile, and I got to play an entire 1 minute on it. It was great. What a great game. So basically, here's what happened. I logged in, right? So I got the, if you pre-reg on Android, I know how it is on iOS, but on Android, you pre-reg for a game, it gives you a notification once it drops, and you can install it and play right away. So I get the notification while I'm out grocery shopping, and I go, oh, cool, Blades is out finally. Well, let's see how much of a trash fire this is. So I fired up, and I go, okay, cool, and it's just like, oh, log in. Okay, I'll log in my Bethesda account. Okay, that's no problem. Use that to play Elder Scrolls Legends, so I do that. So I log in and I go and I do the little tutorial. I'm like, okay, this is a little weird. You're getting used to it's first person, like, like you're Elder Scrolls first person view. You're swiping stuff like that, and I was just like, okay, killing this Thalmor guy. Okay, kill the Thalmor. Fine. So swiping, kill the Thalmor. And so that takes about a minute, right? If even. And then it goes, thank you for playing. We'd let you play more, but we're limiting how many people can play in order to not crash the game. So thank you for trying to play, but right now you cannot play. The game is out. Feel free to not enjoy it because we're only limiting who can play it. But the game is out. So if you are one of these people who are not seeing this message, so we don't know why we're saying this, enjoy the game. But if you're seeing this message, you are actually... The game is out, but you can't play it.
So what is this? Pokemon Go day one or month? Excuse me, year one. Like, how do other companies not learn from other developers? Like, do you not see what? Jesus, I can't tell you how many times I crashed out of Pokemon Go in the first month. It was ridiculous.
Yeah, I know.
I get it. I do. You know, you have to scale your server up.
You do. They basically did what Pokemon Go should have done, but then they should have just kept it in beta and not said the games were released.
Exactly.
I mean, it's still early. Whatever everyone has a name for early access. Blah, 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 whatever they want to fucking call it. Basically,
your preview
scam you because the game's not done. That's all it is.
Yep.
But yeah.
It's a mobile game. Everyone has a phone. What do you expect? Like,
right?
Don't you guys have phones?
Don't you though? God, fucking Diablo. Diablo Mobile is going to be another cringe fest whenever that decides to come out.
That's going to be... just don't do it. Blizzard, just don't.
Well, the thing is, when everyone is, like, ready for a Diablo sequel, and then, like, you tell them that there's going to be Diablo announcement, and then that's your Diablo announcement, it's like, you know, I mean, that's already been discussed, you know, here and there, but, I mean, it's just... Why? Like this is just such an asshole move to do. To like you think people are going to be hyped about your Angry Birds knockoff of fucking Diablo.
It's like, here's the carrot and the stick, but the carrot is made of turds and so is the stick.
Exactly.
Like, what?
So, let's get into a next section, which is going to be game announcements of stuff that have been announced, updated, or come out this past week. Good amount of stuff we got going on. Persona 5 The Royal. So... Anyone who's played Persona has probably played at least Persona 3 and 4 and are familiar with either FES and Golden 4, or Golden 4, what the fuck am I saying? Persona 4 Golden. Yeah. And, you know, of course people had their gripes with Persona 4 Golden because they changed the voice actress, but guess what? They didn't reuse the thing, so I had to give them kudos for doing the new voice acting to begin with. So they weren't able to re-sign her. I mean, yeah, their original voice actress was great. Chie's original voice actress was great, but they couldn't get her. Persona 3 FES, of course, added a brand new female protagonist, so you could play the campaign as either a guy or a girl, which was really cool. The Royal didn't show much. Cool music in the background, very teaser-esque scene, pans up the side of what's probably going to be a new female character. We don't know if it's a new protagonist to take over for Joker or not, but we know that there is going to be a new female character regardless of it being NPC or PC, so we'll see. It had a date at the end of April 24th. That'd be wild if the game does drop that soon. This is the kind of industry where it could, or if that's when the next announcement's going to be. I don't read Japanese, but there was that. Persona 5 has to have what I consider the greatest HUD of all time. The way it just blends in there when you use your options and when you're in the attack and everything, like, no other game to me has ever done it as stylish and as efficient as Persona 5 did, so I'm excited to see where they go with this. Persona 5 was definitely one of the best games to come out that year, so this new repackage of it should be fine. I'm really excited. So, do you ever play any of the Persona games?
I haven't. About 50% of the gamers I know, are absolute fanning over Persona, so
yeah. So it's one of those things where Persona 5... It's the first one to bring it to the mainstream, kind of like what Monster Hunter World did for Monster Hunter. So, nice to see more people getting in there. Of course, Joker from Persona 5 going to be in Smash. That was a very unexpected announcement, but exciting. So, yeah. That was very cool. So,
Master
nice
Chief's
to see
going to
them
be in Smash, too. So is Kratos.
God. Somehow...
Just do it.
Master Chief, I mean, with Xbox Live, people are thinking that could be a thing.
Because of the crossover.
But with how bad Sony plays along with everyone else, we know that's not going to happen.
No, great, no. But you can still play PlayStation Battle Royale or whatever the hell that was.
Oh, gee. Yeah. Vince and I did a video on that. That was not a good time.
Hello, Fat Princess.
How you fuck up. It did two things. It showed you how no franchises or how boring some of these mascot characters are now. and it also showed you how you, like, just ripping off Smash doesn't mean you're going to have a good game on your hands.
Exactly.
So, Streets of Rage 4 was also announced. Very... standard issue minute trailer. .emu, who's done a ton of great games, you can just wiki that and you would already, they've net coded and developed so many good games. So lots of good stuff coming. So good confidence in that being good because of who's working on it. Your typical beat 'em up, great soundtrack, and the graphics look crisp as hell. So I'm excited. Beat 'em ups are always fun.
Yeah.
Good to play that. I've been wanting to play Chronicles of Mystara again lately, or Dragon's Crown. So this will be another good one to add to the side-scroll beat-em-up style. So that's exciting. We're talking about difficult games earlier, so let's come back to that. Is Cuphead announced for Switch? Cuphead is such a fucking... I just gave up on that fucking game.
Oh, yeah. Enjoy the suffering Switch players. God, I hate that game. It's fun?
It's fun, but I feel like sometimes it took it to the next level where, like, it's not really... Okay, so the game isn't as hard as Dark Souls, but somehow made itself less fun than Dark Souls.
Right.
The difficulty was so skewed to the fun factor where it just didn't even out properly. It is a good game. The art style is great. I like where they're coming from and what they're doing with it.
Oh, I love the narrative.
I just suck at the game.
No, I tried. It's fun in the way a trip to the DMV is fun. Like, no, I'm kidding. Cuphead, I love you. I bought you, day one. I pre-ordered Cuphead because I was excited to play it.
Right.
And it's just so goddamn frustrating.
Yeah,
it's so hard.
It gets to the point where, like, with Dark Souls and the other FromSoft games, it's like you can play and then you get to a point where you do get frustrated, you put it down for a second, but then you come back and it's so satisfying when you beat it.
Yeah.
Cuphead, I didn't even want to get to that step B, so it's like, I don't know. I just, from the get-go, it just didn't, I don't know, it was just not my cup of tea.
It took me hours to be that stupid sunflower carrot or whatever it was.
God damn it, yeah.
It's so hard. But cool, it's fun. I like that animation style.
Yeah, I know. The animation on it's
motif,
phenomenal.
The 30s, back in the day when you didn't have to be so sensory.
Yeah, exactly. And someone did a really cool Dark Souls animation. I wish, sorry I don't know the credit on it, but someone did a really cool Dark Souls animation in the style Cuphead, so it looked really cool. Had all the classic Dark Souls characters in there and stuff, so that was really, really fun. So... But, so Cuphead coming to Switch. Good luck screaming on your commute if you take any public transportation. So good luck with that.
And you can yell at people on the bus for your frustration.
Exactly. Vampire Masquerade 2 being announced. I'm super excited for that because I am one of the 2 people that played Vampire Masquerade 1. A game that suffered from, I don't know if it's just not being promoted well enough or people just not getting into it, but it's really fun. Looks like it continues the vein of the original game. Very noir esque kind of like, vampire shit, obviously.
Yeah.
And so it looks really fun. The powers and stuff look really cool. They kind of showed a bit of gameplay while having a very big, not actual gameplay disclaimer at the bottom. But it looked fun. I'm excited to see. The thing that made it really fun was kind of like the choices you got to make in terms of not just morality, but the interesting kind of fucked up choices you can make in the original game. So... I don't know, it looks good. I just hope that it doesn't end up being one of those things where they bring back a thing like that and make it bad, like Thief. I'm a big fan of...
that franchise.
Yeah.
Damn.
I'm a huge fan of the Thief games. Garrett's a cool guy, but man, they fucked up the...
I was so hyped for that too.
Yeah, no, I was really excited and then it came out so bad. But yeah, graphically everything looks fine, but it is all early stuff. A lot of, not actual gameplay disclaimers for Vampire Masquerade 2. So we'll see once they drop more true-to-life stuff and when it comes out. That's going to be fun, I hope. So excited for that. And I'm excited for a lot of people who are probably just going to hear about it for the first time and try it because the first one was fun. So maybe they'll remaster it or drop a port of it or some bullshit like that. So, but yeah, Vampire Masquerade 2, very good. Cyberpunk 2077 dropping some dev journalist stuff. One of the people from CD Projekt Red did say that at E3 2019 they will have their biggest showcase yet and that they will be dropping gameplay demo, more trailers, so on and so forth.
Thank you for the proper pronunciation.
That game does, I know, right? That game does look really, I know a lot of people don't know how to say it, but
yeah.
It does look really good though. I'm very excited for it. Witcher 3 was great. Not that it has anything to do with it, but what I mean is if they can take a series like The Witcher and take it to that next level, it's nice to see them launch a brand new IP and nice to see them doing what most developers need to do and what I always harp on is take your time. Even if the game takes goddamn forever to come out, As long as it's complete and fun when it comes out, you'll be fine.
That's why they're a great company. And, well, bro, you can't be excited for Cyberpunk if you haven't played Witcher 3.
Right.
No, that's what my friends were saying.
Yeah.
Because it took me forever to play Witcher 3, and they're like, you can't be excited for this game. You haven't even played Witcher. I'm like, okay,
well,
what the fuck? It's a different game.
You know what? I bet you, and I'm calling out John's friends, by the way, so feel free to listen to this and suck me. None of you guys even played The Witcher until Witcher 3, so shut the fuck up, okay?
Exactly.
None of you guys... No, shut up. You're going to tell me Witcher 2. Shut the fuck up. You don't even know what Witcher 2 was, okay? You're just being a hipster, okay, guy? Look, guy. You're just being a hipster, okay? You have as much... John has as much right as your fake ass to like... Okay? I know you listen... the rest of the listeners hate that. That was...
Sorry, guys. This is
But I'm just annoyed when people pull that shit on people like you, where you're just at least you're honest and not lying about your experience or beating The Witcher 3. Some people fucking didn't like it, and they're hyped for this game, and they're allowed to do that. So.
Yeah, I'm fucking so stoked, because high fantasy is just not my realm, you know? Like, I like The Hobbit, and Lord of the Rings is okay, but I fucking love Cyberpunk. I love Blade Runner way more than I love anything else.
Exactly.
Like, I'm so stoked.
It's like why you're allowed to like fucking Dragon Age and don't need to like Mass Effect.
Exactly.
Or vice versa.
Yeah.
So, yep, they did. They also announced they were going to be expanding their office space, which is great, and that they would be adding 250 employees to their staff.
Good job,
which is
guys.
in very contrast to something that's going to come up in the podcast. So we'll get to the opposite of that later.
Yeah.
Outward came out.
Nice.
That game looked pretty cool. Maybe a lot of like Sacred Arcania, any of those 3D RPGs running around third person hit stuff. Looks really cool. One of the best ways I think I've ever seen that done was Divinity 2. That was really cool. Divinity 2 is so great. It rised up from rose up from a Kickstarter and became this really great, well supported RPG where like. It was really cool. You could basically, you and your friend could play in the same campaign, but you guys didn't always have to stick together or do the same thing. So you could be doing a side quest that would cause a diversion for my quest and allow me to complete it easier. You could find new characters. You could go die by yourself without me, or we could play together. It was really, really cool being able to do stuff like that without it being an MMO. It was just a straight up cooperative RPG, and it was awesome how they allowed you to do that.
I didn't know that about Divinity, that it rose up from a Kickstarter.
Yeah, nice. Divinity 2 is from Kickstarter. I don't know about the original one, but the Divinity 2 was Kickstarter. Outward, of course, not bringing back, but one of those games that's become the rare case of couch play, split screen co-op. So it's nice to see that they're bringing that again. You love it?
I do. I think it's something missing from modern gaming. You know, not everyone wants to be online all the time.
It's true.
You know, sometimes you just want to hang out with your buds, play some couch play, do a little, 2v2 or 1v1.
Build friendships like playing Mario Kart.
or online Monopoly.
So, but Outward, developed by Studio 9 Dots and published by Deep Silver, so should be alright. Deep Silver has their hit and misses of games they publish, but thankfully that's why they're just the publisher on this one. 9 Dots, I'm not sure what else they worked on. I haven't heard of them before.
Yeah,
but,
I'm not familiar.
The game looks great, so kudos on them if it is good. We'll probably check it out sometime. We'll probably do at least a stream to at least review it and go from there. Noob Saibot, of course, announced. Noob Saibot looking guy, I know. I was going to say, I know this one was the one you were waiting for.
Yeah,
go on, John. Tell us about the Noob and tell us about why you're hyped.
Oh, I'm so fit. I'm super hyped. I love Noob. Cool character, cool backstory. I love his gameplay mechanic. He looks just like my main from Injustice 2, Scarecrow. His finisher's fantastic. He's just a cool guy, all around cool guy. I can't wait. MK11 looks like it's shaping up to be a really fun game. The graphics look tight. The fighting mechanic looks on point. I've really never been let down by a modern, that's this millennia MK, or this decade, I should say. So, very, very excited.
Yeah, I don't have much Injustice experience, so I can't really compliment your conversation on that. But I did love MK. MK's always been one of my favorite fighting game series. I was actually playing MK more when everyone was more into Street Fighter, so it's a lot of fun to see it's been getting better and better again ever since 9. Yeah. Really good stuff. Noob's one of my mains, aside Melina and stuff like that, so I'm excited. He does look really cool. The animations, everything look dope.
I don't know if you saw the latest trailer. The narrative seems nice, past meets future.
Right, that's pretty cool.
No, I like that. I'm interested to see where that goes. Old Liu Kang and Kung Lao meeting their new Netherworld counterparts.
Yeah, that'll be very interesting. That's a great thing about a bullshit universe like MK is it doesn't have to make any sense.
Exactly.
They literally can do whatever the fuck they want. That's why what is it, MK versus DC?
Yeah.
They do whatever the fuck they want.
And that's canon, too.
It's canon.
So it's fucking...
Because who cares?
Exactly.
That's what's great about a series that takes itself so lightly,
but still keeps it
kudos
serious.
to the biggest liar on earth, Ed Boon,
for
creating a great franchise. What isn't fun is the latest Dragon Ball FighterZ character announcement.
Go on.
So we have Goku number 9 being added to the game because we need 9 Gokus in one game.
And the one who it is, too. And
that's the worst part about it.
That everybody loves.
That's the worst part about it is, if it had been Dragon Ball Goku, I would have been so hyped because that's my favorite Goku. That's best Goku. And that's the best Dragon Ball franchise.
Agreed.
But it had to be GT Goku.
Oh, everyone loves GT.
They had to give you the great value version of Goku. And, it's like, why? Wooly and Casa Super Beast made a good point that this isn't for us because we're not their target.
Yeah.
Apparently the Dragon Ball fans really love Goku. And apparently they don't mind there being so fucking many of them. But the thing that sucks is the fact that there are so many. If you're talking about Dragon Ball Expanded Universe and the original, there are so many characters it could be. From launch,
where's Pike?
All the babies,
where's Guineas in
any of them?
Yeah,
that the fact that you have 9 slots of how many characters? 20 something.
Yeah, no,
9 of them are Goku. 9 of them are Goku. Are being I can hear the actuallys coming
exactly.
out, but
that's what gets me. It's GT. I enjoy.
Yeah,
GT.
that's the thing. Is GT.
I
Even in GT, it could have been Pan. It could have been Mustache Vegeta. It still could have been all these other characters other than fucking...
Yeah. You fucking give us a Shenron.
Yeah, that would be kind of interesting.
That would be cool. I like the Shen... the end of GT was actually pretty cool when you go... Give us SS4... Ozaru Goku.
Yeah, they could have got from Dragon Ball AF, that totally real franchise, and Super Saiyan 5 Goku. And they could have done all these sorts of things, and they had to give us goddamn fucking GT Goku. I don't know.
They could have done actual kid Goku from Dragon Ball. They could have given us Dr. Gero back in the day, or Launch. Fuck it, give me Launch. I want to fight with Launch.
Yeah, Launch is actually what I'm excited, especially her changing back between her.
Yes, exactly.
That'd be good.
That'd be neat. Nice little callback for the fans. Give me fucking Yajirobe. Don't give me another goddamn Goku.
Yeah, give me King Kai.
Yes, give me King Kai. His special is just him and his little cricket.
Give me the Queen of Snake Way. Just give me anybody else. Really, at this point.
It's not that we don't like Goku. It's just, come on.
Yeah, no, we don't need that many. We don't need fucking GT Goku, okay?
We're gonna get Baby Trunks, too?
That's what I was gonna say. Even that would have been... Or shitty Teen Trunks would have been better than... I don't know. There's a lot of ways they could have gone with that, but they didn't. And fucking... I don't know, man. It's a little frustrating.
Yeah, it seems toned down, too, because nobody here that I know...
my energy levels just went down, talking about this. We talk about bad shit all the time, but this just drained me.
Yeah, this is under 9,000.
Good Lord. So it's...
This inclusion is as bad as that joke I just made, so...
Yeah, basically. So, you want to take a break from that, John? Want to take a word from our sponsor?
Yeah.
Is that cool? Can I talk about them?
Yeah, we'll do it quick.
You ever heard about Radio Public, John?
I've heard a little bit, yeah.
A little bit about Radio Public.
Tell me more.
It's like a radio for the public. It's a place where you can actually listen to podcasts like Stitcher or anywhere else that you like to check out your podcast. A lot of them are on there. So Radio Public is an app on iOS and Android, as well as a website, radiopublic.com, where you can find a lot of really good podcasts, including our own podcast. We're on there, John.
Really?
We are on there.
Very nice.
So you can check us out and download the app. When you listen to podcasts on the app, including us, it actually does help us out a lot. So, the more we push our numbers on there, the more we move up those charts, and it does help us support the podcast, and we can go from there. But yeah, so make sure to check it out. We'll have more details at our personalized Radio Public link in the description below. So back on track. Let's get back to it.
Yep.
We talked about the announcement of Baptiste last time on the podcast.
Mm-hmm.
You got some hands-on with him? I still haven't.
I did. I got some hands-on.
Thoughts. Let's elaborate. Let's see what we got. Let's expand on our thoughts of Baptiste from last time?
I like him. I'm a big fan.
Good.
I slotted him into one of my main rotations.
Support character. Do you play much support?
I'm a Moira main.
Okay, so of the support characters, where is he from for you on there?
Right under Moira, but that's because the way I play Moira is highly DPS.
Okay.
Like, I'll always...
so he kind of still provides you with a DPS outlet while still being a good support.
Yeah, because he actually has a weapon. Moira's just a DPS of convenience.
Now, in terms of support abilities and healing, where does he stand on that spectrum of... he definitely can't be main healer?
No, I think he would.
Really?
Yeah. I don't have too much hands-on time with Mercy. I could never get the hang of her, but he's definitely up there. So you know Mercy, so you know what she's like.
Right, yeah, Mercy, one of my mains is Mercy.
I love the fact that he doesn't have to be within range to heal, because one of his secondary firing mechanisms, he can shoot heals at you. Plus, the safe space he shoots out has a nice distance.
So he's kind of meeting Ana a little bit?
Yeah, I think he's a little better than Ana.
Oh, yeah. He probably is more efficient than Ana.
Yeah.
Because you have to be a really good Ana to be a good Ana.
Yeah, but, exactly. He's a little more easy to get into. His ultimate is a little... You have to practice with that, I'd say.
Right.
Because you got to get it down. Because, people are going to be moving. So, say you have a good Bastion or Torb's defensive turret set up, or even an Ariza, put it in front of them.
Right.
That's my experience. And we were playing on Ilios at the pit too, so I fucking hate that level.
But you were able to... Was there any other healer on the team with you at the time when you ran that?
When I was Baptiste, we had a Mercy, and the Mercy switched to Zen.
Okay, so you could probably run... Because I like to run Zen Lucio or Lucio Mercy or, stuff like that. So basically... He has you feel he has the potential to stand on his own, but he probably also work good as a secondary or backup healer.
Oh, of course, okay. Yeah. Like I think that if you ran a Moira or a Mercy or a Lucio as the primary healer, Baptiste would be a good backup. But if you're running Baptiste as your primary, put a Mercy or a Lucio behind him. Mm-hmm. Maybe a Zen to buff him and to throw damage down on other people. Because I do like the fact that he has an actual DPS mechanic.
Right.
So he's well balanced. I would up his damage a little bit, slightly, maybe like by 1 point or two. But other than that, no, I'm for it. Baptiste is a good addition. I'm happy to see him. He almost is a perfect mix between like Mercy and 76.
Nice, nice, not a bad thing. All right, so liking Baptiste, then that's good. He fits into the fold very well, which is a good thing that Overwatch has been doing very well. So I'm happy, very, 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 very happy to hear that. Then I haven't checked them out myself, like I said personally, but I'm glad that you were able to get some hands on, so we could actually talk about him more elaborately. Yeah. Some other balancing stuff and patches were dropped for Overwatch also recently, whenever Baptiste dropped, but. There's patch notes for a reason. We don't need to that's not really news. We don't have to actually discuss that until something's like really big that drops news-wise. But
yeah.
And of course, they did announce Borderlands 3. Gearbox announcing Borderlands 3 after coming off the absolute train wreck of Battleborn. So this is why this has me a little worried. Now, it looks good. It does look good. It looks like Borderlands 3... It looks like it hasn't been, 10 years since the last one?
Has it really been 10 years?
No, I don't know how long it's been. It's been a while, though.
It has been a while.
But it doesn't look like it's been that long. It kind of the graphics, everything, the way the trailer is paced, the way they try to make it a little goofy, a little quirky. Everything looks like it is kind of following where it should have left off from Borderlands 2.
Yeah.
But my main concerns is the fact that Bloodborne was created in between that and Battleborn. Well, Bloodborne was created.
It's true,
but not made by them. And they also made a game called Battleborn, which was also relevant information.
We did this a lot when Battleborn came out because it came out right when around the time Bloodborne came out.
I'm just not used to talking about those two games this early in the morning.
I'm just not used to talking about Battleborn.
Oh, there you go.
Sorry, Gearbox.
But I am hoping that it is what everybody wants. We are excited, but I feel like I'm the only person being that guy on social media, but I kind of have to be, where I'm going to have to put out that yellow caution tape and say, be wary. Because don't be surprised if this is Borderlands 3 pushes Battle Royale mode. or
don't.
Borderlands 3 loot boxes, so on and so forth. I think the whole thing is the fact that Borderlands is one of the original looter shooters.
Yeah.
So
over 1 billion guns.
Yeah, and if they ruin it with this whole format of adding it where they basically go, oh, you really like whatever gun, now you can have it, don't worry about that. But you have to you can earn it in game, fine. I don't think they're gonna remove that aspect of it.
Yeah, but just leave it.
But I don't want to see ads littered on my main menu of the Labor Day weekend only $2.99 loot boxes or something.
Yeah, exactly.
Like that.
Don't just
guaranteed epic.
Give us the fucking game. Don't make it anything about microtransactions. Just give us a game. Give us Borderlands. It's Borderlands. It's hard to fuck up that mechanic.
Exactly.
The
game's been good because it is the way it is. So don't fuck that up, please.
Yeah.
Please, Gearbox. I feel like they learned from Battleborn, but I think that it's still a. I feel my fear is legitimate.
No, you're
given
absolutely
the climate of the
that.
game industry.
Yeah. Of course, they could fall prey to that lust, but please don't. Just give us Borderlands 3. That's what we've been wanting. Since the end of 2, I'm so close to beating 2. I'm so excited. I love Borderlands. I'm a huge fan. So don't fuck it up.
Yes, please.
The trailer was nice. Even if the graphic quality is scaled down from the dev trailer, I don't care. Just give us the game. That's it.
That's all we ask. That's all we ask. Do not turn Borderlands 3 into games as a service, which is what we're going to wrap up today's podcast on. And this is, again, always open forum to you guys. Please hit us up with your thoughts. Let us know anything. If you have any corrections or comments or anything like that, disconnectedcastmail@gmail.com.
Yeah.
Again, that's disconnectedcastmail@gmail.com. And let us know if you do want to chime in on that, and we can always address stuff on the next podcast if you guys bring up a valid point, or I'll just, reply to you directly with anything that you might, good amount of people have been hitting up my DMs and everything, and I've been talking to them privately about that. So it's been nice getting, feedback where people think someone talked to us about the whole MK music thing, had a few points to made some good points. So, stuff like that. So, yeah, please do.
Yeah, we love feedback.
But, yeah, the final topic of the podcast is going to be the video game, as Jim Sterling calls it, AAA industry, using games as a service and bullshit unnecessary DLC to pad out their pockets as much as possible. And your thoughts on whether there are any benefits that come out of that, or if it's just complete horseshit and the game industry really needs to stop that, the higher echelon, the corporate game industry needs to stop this shit and get back to basics and, be good again. Where we're going to open up with that is an example of when a good game kind of has a bit of a hiccup. We have Apex Legends. Last time we talked about the Battle Pass dropping. It did drop recently on, March 19th, I want to say. Mm-hmm. Battle Pass, not quite the epic thing everyone was hoping for.
Yeah.
Unfortunately. There were a couple of caveats with this why people didn't like it. It's just all really mediocre cosmetics. Nothing really even stand out. If they had things that added brand new textures or brand new graphics or anything like that, you could maybe justify it. But even though the Battle Pass is very reasonably priced at 950 battle coins, which is essentially $10, they just didn't. It was just not what everyone. It's just nothing was really in there that was the wow factor. Not to mention, if you do play Apex Legends a lot, they tie these loot boxes to each level, right? And in every season, there's 100 levels. Well, some people plow through those very quickly, and there's no real solution to what happens if you hit a level 100. So once you hit level 100, you get your final loot box, which is expected to be something that should be pretty decent, supposedly. Then that's it. Then we don't know anymore.
So
there's no real recourse to kind of remedy about it. So that's definitely something that needs to be addressed.
Yeah. You hit 100, don't play anymore. Thanks.
And that's it. And then, insert appropriate levels of silence there. It's just like, this is a problem. Even a good game from good developers, Apex Legends from Respawn, as great of a game it is, they still have no answer to this. Where does the steam let out? They're doing great now, but then what?
Yeah.
I know that the Battle Pass was delayed for a little bit because on PC there was a Twitch exclusive skin that you could get from watching a stream or some bullshit like that and linking your account, but then what was happening is on PC people were just able to enter a command line and just get the loot for free anyways. So that I think they were just trying to work out the kinks and bugs on
PC
that.
Master Race.
But the pass is here and it's not that great, unfortunately. That really does suck. Especially because the characters are for sure going to be separate from the pass. Even less incentive to get the pass because you can just buy the characters and then there's no real... The characters are totally worth buying, it looks like.
Yeah.
They look pretty fun. So that's not worth getting it, unfortunately, at the moment, it seems. You should to support the company, but I think that if they do another bunk of a pass in the next season, the game might not survive as long as I'm hoping it does.
Yeah.
It is doing great right now, though. Epic Games, and for those of you who don't know, the makers of Fortnite, reporting a 48% profit loss ever since Apex Legends has come out. So, of course, 48% of billions of dollars, millions of dollars, is a lot of money still, but still, a dip is a dip.
Yeah.
I know, right? Seriously, it is crazy how much money Fortnite makes. But yeah, so I just... They need to address... There are a lot of things that need to be addressed in that. But what it does is it harps on the exact topic that I will always bring up and I always do hate, which is the fact that they do this games as a service bullshit. They always do this thing where they give you a half-baked game now and promise you all this bullshit in the future. But, I mean, how many times has that ever actually been delivered? How many times do they actually go through the whole roadmap perfectly? How did, Destiny's 10-year plan...
Oh, God.
Destiny 2 came out, 2 years after Destiny 1?
How ambitious. Jesus.
Too many game developers, no matter the budget, have proven that it's just not really possible, so...
Tough game. I mean, not just gamers, people lose interest fast.
WoW was an anomaly. That's all we can really say. And they did it in a way that was much better than how these games are doing it now.
Well, Blizzard can do no wrong.
Oh god, I wish that was the case. They're good old partners, Activision. And giving some examples of these bullshit, kind of tactics that these companies, these corporations use is, of course, I praised on a previous podcast how much I liked the Battle Royale mode in Black Ops 4 and how that's actually good, even though I'm not a fan of the Call of Duty games. They, of course, this isn't necessarily new news, but this is in relevance. A good amount of the stuff is old news, but relevant to the topic is why I'm bringing it up again. Mm. But they even do something as far as to give you a badge of shame next to your player name if you do not own the season pass.
I remember that.
Just to be that, really?
And it 100% backfired.
It did, because all it did is people wore it as a badge of pride.
Exactly.
And the fact that they're like, oh yeah, fuck you. I didn't want this shitty season pass. So yes, that's why I have this. I am smart.
Yeah.
This badge is my intelligence, badge of being shown. I'm not going to be scammed into buying this.
How can you be so shitty as a company?
Pass.
What's
to actually bully your fan base into fucking buying your thing by shit talking them. Really?
Good job.
And then just have them shit on you. That's hilarious. And then
have you been to the internet?
Right. And then, of course, another example of, really bad, forcing you to buy stuff was Metal Gear Solid Survive. First of all, the game existence itself is irrelevant, and, of course, try to cash grab to begin with because, Kojima not being involved. The fact that the game doesn't really have anything to do with Metal Gear at all. That type of thing. But what they did with that one...
It's about the people who aren't Snake. It's important.
Right. And then for the people who actually ended up playing it, what they were doing is they were charging people for save slots.
No.
So to have additional
really?
spaces, you had to buy them.
Oh, excuse, let me just insert my memory card here.
DLC.
Wow.
It was that. It was not bad enough that they don't have Kojima anymore. They're continuing this franchise and shitting on it. But to pull stuff like that is just an awful example. And then it goes as far as to talk about what we talked about last time with Dead or Alive Season Pass. $93, by the way. I got actually done that one. $93 season pass because, that makes it a whole lot better.
Yeah. Better than 100.
Right. Even, at least they're giving you something for it, unlike I said, just a paid save slot. Not that they were charging $93 for that, but point being is, again, the value is in the eye of the beholder, so some people really do find it to be worth it, and some people did buy it. Schaefer. So it's one of those things where I get supporting the game.
I do,
but companies are almost taking advantage of the fact that people want to support these games, that they will do shit like that.
Yeah, don't support, but don't enable.
Right, which is going to be kind of like the moral of this whole thing. That's part of it. Part of it is just the way that these big game developers are just taking advantage of that. And then the thing is, it's just not good enough. They give you a lukewarm game like Anthem, and then they go, what happened? Like, why is it not good? And then they really scratch their heads genuinely, or kind of like, BioWare reported they were disappointed in the numbers that Anthem gave them.
What the fuck do you expect?
When you put out a shit game, that's what's going to happen.
Yeah.
EA, of course, laying off employees. This was what was going to contrast to what I was talking about earlier about CJ, who the fuck is that? CD Projekt Red, adding employees. EA continues to lay them off. It's their second major layoff in a few years. They dropped off a quarter of what I believe was EA Australia a few months ago, and then now they're dropping 350 of, I believe, their American company. But don't worry, guys. They say that at least, it's a small number of a big number of people, so that's not so bad, right? Firing 350 people.
Yeah, who cares about those chumps?
Yeah, don't worry. They were the 350 not-important people.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's fine. And then, of course, the CEO, Mr. $84 million a man, of course, bigwigs under him even took a percentage salary cut. 350 people under them were fired. He has taken, as far as anyone knows, no reported cut in pay whatsoever. So, his 84 millions are intact, and this is why he's doing that. Another funny thing is his letter that came out to address the situation, in which case, it was one he did talk about padding it out, where 350 people, but it's of a team of, 1,900 people, so it's fine. It's not that many people.
This is fine.
This is fine. He did say that it's in order... He did say that this is great. I love the way Jim Sterling quoted this, where he was just like, EA strives to be one of the best game companies that we can be. We know we're not there yet, and we know we're not there at the moment. But these types of strategic moves are in order to help us blah, 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 blah. Basically, your usual corporate nonsense for why people are going to starve to death or get evicted from their homes. The usual kind of justification. Cliff Blazinski's, I'd like to think I paid them severance even though I didn't.
Yay, capitalism.
Right. Telltale literally fucking their employees in the eyes.
So horrible.
Just stuff like that happens. This happens all the time no matter how small or big the company. But it still doesn't make it any better. Yeah. And all the aforementioned DLC, roadmap, games as a service nonsense plus this sucks because it sets a precedence. It sets a precedence. This is all okay. Again, I believe in supporting these companies and I believe in stuff, but when you reward bad behavior, you're going to get more of the bad behavior. And I think that it's just absurd the level that we've let this snowball to. And if you continue to just be like, shrug, there's not much we can do about it, you're going to continue to cause problems like this. You really have to start doing like these gray outs, like what they did with For Honor, where the game got so bad at one point where people just refused to play the game or stonewalled it. Mm-hmm. Things like this, people wanted to do this for Anthem, and they should. These type of things, they need to have their bankroll cut off to show that if you do bad things, you have bad results. But if you continue to reward their bad behavior, you're going to get bad behavior.
Yeah.
This does somewhat contradict my point last time where I said if you want Anthem to be saved, you should buy it. But it also kind of, what I mean in this sense where I'm saying this is, if you feel Anthem's bad, me, for example, I refuse to buy the game. And if you really think it's bad, don't buy the game then because you're supporting it. If you do honestly believe in your heart that they can get better, then buy it. But my whole thing is, don't be surprised when they continue to shit in your mouth, though, because they realize they still get the dollar bills even if they don't deliver.
Yeah.
And this is the stuff that is just getting more and more out of control in the main video game industry, and it's just trickling down to the smaller companies, and it just sucks. It's just the state of the industry is just getting to a absolutely terrible state, and I just don't see it getting better anytime soon, especially if people continue to reward this bad behavior. It's not so easy. It's not just black and white, but there are steps and points that can be made to kind of fuck the people who are doing this to make a point and hope that they better themselves and better this behavior.
Yeah.
So tell us what y'all think about that. It's a very, very large and serious topic. So it's one of those things where we want to hear more about it, especially from you guys. Propose solutions. What can you do? Is it that easy? Am I wrong? What points do you have defending the AAA video game industry? Stuff like that, Any closing thoughts, John?
No, just add on to that. This is beyond an actually. This is a very serious topic. Needs to be addressed. We need to fix the state of gaming. Go see Shazam. Support the DCEU.
Oh yeah, do that.
Boy, yeah, do that.
Make sure to do that. Random beginning of the week plug at the end of the podcast.
Never
but
seen
definitely do that.
A bad Mark Strong film. So there you go.
All right, John. Where can our lovely listeners follow you at?
They can follow me at on Instagram at disasterman_music or on Twitter at evildeadguy. And Patrick?
All right, and I can be found at most places at the handle ZDRocker altogether. Of course, SlimAsianEntertainment.com has links to all my other projects. I still need to update it with this one because I'm lazy and I haven't updated that website in a second, but it'll be on there. And then, of course, you can find our podcasts, past and present, because I don't necessarily assume you're listening to it from our website because we are on tons of platforms, including Google Podcasts, Stitcher, Google Play Music, Radio Public, and so on and so forth. But you can find us on our website at disconnectedcast.com and check us out there. Leave us some feedback. Do whatever you want to do. Enjoy the aesthetics of the website. And you'll find us there. And you can find us every Monday at 11 a.m. Central Standard Time. And until the next episode, we will catch you guys then.
Have a great